So welcome everyone to another exclusive webinar on how to boost your employability skills. And today we have a very important topic, which is how to boost your LinkedIn profile and how to network online. We're going to discover that LinkedIn is a super useful and powerful tool to network online, and you really want to be taking advantage of this. I love to know who already has a LinkedIn profile. And if you do have a LinkedIn profile, this is the opportunity for you to share your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to share mine. And this way we can all start doing some kind of networking already. So first of all, I'd like to really make clear what the difference is between a resume and a LinkedIn profile. So as we saw the last session, a resume is a piece of paper, basically a document that you are gonna create. Usually you already have a CV. Probably if you're doing this internship, you already have a CV. And the thing about it, the CV or the resume is that this is a short version of our work experience, our background education that is really, really targeted to the job we are applying to. Okay, this is one big difference because LinkedIn is going to be about sharing your whole story. We can think that a resume and LinkedIn, they both complement each other. So both are going to convey your expertise and value as a professional. Both are going to be usually shown in reverse chronological format. You know, the current experience is going to be shown first, and then we can go backwards. In both LinkedIn and resume, you want to include keywords that let us have a sense of what your industry is, and this is really adapted to your industry and areas of expertise, and they don't replace one another. So you should have both, okay? If you do not have your LinkedIn profile, this is a great moment to, after the session, go and create one profile. And so let's understand that usually a resume or a CV, I'm using the word interchangeably, we want to, the goal of a CV, of a resume, is to get a job interview, right? This is going to be the first document the recruiter sees, and based on this, they're gonna say, okay, do I want to interview this person or not? The difference with LinkedIn is that you are always having this profile out there. Not only when you're job searching, if you're job searching, the more you want to have this tool out there updated and well crafted. But even if you are not looking for a job, your LinkedIn profile is the opportunity to connect with other people. This can also, it's like a passive, connection tool. Even if you're not looking for a job, then your profile is going to be there, it's going to be noticed. And what you want to do with your LinkedIn profile is use this opportunity to tell your whole story. The CV cannot tell everything you've done. It has to be targeted to the job position you're applying for and very specific, adapted with keywords for the job you're looking. We're going to explore this in our next webinar episode. But your LinkedIn profile is the opportunity to show really what you've done, your experience, and really tell your story. And it gives you the opportunity also to upload images, videos, and so on. So really, you want to combine those. So make sure that you have your resume updated, and then also that you have your LinkedIn updated. And for that, we're going to see how you want to update your LinkedIn. Let's explore some numbers so you can really understand the power of LinkedIn. I'm going to show these numbers, and if you want to guess in the chat and write, okay, I think 6 is the number that represents, I don't know, how many times per second people smile when they go to the LinkedIn profile. Be my guest, share your educated guess, and let's explore 67 million people. What does this number represent? 67 million companies listed in LinkedIn. 67 million, that's a lot of companies that are on LinkedIn and that you can take advantage of. 1 billion what? 1 billion global members. That means you have the possibility to reach out to 1 billion people. Everything from the convenience of your cell phone, your house, you don't even need to leave your couch. There are 28 million people who added the open to work frame, you know, this green text image that appears when you're looking for a job. We're going to explore how we can do that. Also, 61 million people searching for jobs each week. So LinkedIn is also a super powerful tool to look for jobs. And then we have 140 job applications submitted every second. As I'm speaking, so many people are at this moment submitting job applications, and 6 people are hired every minute on LinkedIn. So we can understand already LinkedIn is a platform that allows you to showcase yourself, be present, tell your story, connect with other people, search and find jobs. So really LinkedIn is the place where you want to be, where you should be really maximizing your chances to connecting with other people. So let's explore a little bit. When we think about LinkedIn, what we're going to do in this webinar today is really understand what essential piece of information you need to have in your LinkedIn. One thing very important, I usually, because I do these webinars regularly, I connect with many of you through LinkedIn. And what I realized, one very key essential thing that is missing is the profile picture, okay? If you do not have a profile picture, that is suspicious. Personally, I don't accept people who do not have a profile picture. So if you send me an invitation request and doesn't have a profile picture, chances are I'm not gonna accept you. Why? Because it's suspicious. It's like, you know, someone comes in the street with their faces covered and they talk to you, you're not gonna feel very comfortable. You're gonna say, this is weird. So how does this picture need to be? Well, it has to be a recent picture from yourself. We need to be able to see your face, no sunglasses. This has to be professionally looking. You need to smile a little bit with your eyes, you know, this smile that is shown in your eyes. And if for any reason you don't have a picture of yourself or you don't want to put a picture of yourself, you can also have a logo, right? Or and perhaps, yeah, the logo of your own private freelancing space, but we need to have an image there. Please don't leave it empty. So your profile picture is essential. Background photo. We see here this James, he has a picture of a city. This background photo, we want it to be representative of your industry or what you do. For instance, if you're into data analysis, then you can create an image yourself with different data analysis related images or words. You can use a word cloud, you know, to include all different areas or subjects you master. We want also background photo, or if you're not sure, even it can also be a simple color background with your logo. It can be subtle, but you need to have this background. Yes, Olena, thanks for your question. Yes, we're sharing our LinkedIn profile, so we start to get to know each other and taking advantage of doing a little bit of networking among ourselves. So about the open to work feature. This feature, what it does is basically it tells recruiters that you are open for work. You have two options actually. You can have this open to work image on your profile picture, in which case everyone, right, will see you're looking for a job, recruiters included, or you can select only the option for recruiters to see that you're open to work, and the open to work banner won't appear in your LinkedIn. This is up to you. You know, sometimes you're looking for a job while you already have a job. Usually LinkedIn does the best they can to make sure that the company you work at doesn't find out that you're looking for a job. Of course, if you put the open to work sign, they will know. You may want to check this, but if you choose not to select the banner, then only recruiters will know that you're looking for a job. So besides the two pictures we mentioned and the open to work sign, if you decide to use it because you're looking for a job, one essential thing to have is a nice header. And when we're speaking about the header, what we're talking about is basically the picture we have there, the image, which is your name, these small keywords we have below, and some things that appear to the right, like we can see their LinkedIn and university. Why is this important? Well, first of all, because your name is how people are going to recognize it is you. You have the option of recording how to pronounce your name if you are using LinkedIn in your app. There you can record your pronunciation, the pronunciation of your name, which may be super handy. We are living in a very big world and we're all interconnected. And like me before, when I started this webinar, I'm not sure how I should pronounce the name of different people. So it is also good to give people a hint. If for us that's important to be named the way we want, then we can record our the pronunciation of our name. And what is this headline about? Well, the headline is the words that appear below our name. And this is a great opportunity to represent our professional brand and differentiate from other people. Why is this? Because usually what we can do here is three tips to really maximize this headline. One thing you can do is use industry keywords. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, Damien, can you share my LinkedIn profile, please? You're gonna see my in my profile, I have the key words industry and the things I do. For instance, I do career coaching, I'm a teacher, I am to empowering young people. So like, thank you, Damien. You can see my keywords when you look for me, you can add me. You can see program and project management, polyglot, coaching, and mentoring, because these are the main things I want people to look at when they look for my profile. Are you doing the same? Are you making sure that you are using this space so people can quickly understand what you do? If you're into data analysis, then what you can do is clearly include the keywords of what you do. Data analysis, IT, cybersecurity. Use this key space to use industry keywords to pinpoint exactly what you do and highlight any skills or passions that you have. So, one thing you want to add to perhaps is your phone number, your address, your birthday, and your instant messaging options. This is not required, but one thing that is definitely required, and I am already seeing some great room for improvement in the links you're sharing, is our LinkedIn address. Look at how my LinkedIn address is. My LinkedIn address is a customized URL, just like Damien is sharing on our chat, right? When you go to my profile, you can see that my profile is LinkedIn and then my name and last name. I don't have this number that sometimes LinkedIn shows, you know. So you want to make sure this is really, really customized. This is very simple to do. And after the webinar, I'm going to be sending all these slides so you can definitely learn how to do this. Very easy. This is one thing you want to do. So, of course, your email and website if you have one. Many quick edits. All of these you can find in the slides when we finish the webinar. Next week, we're gonna send these slides so you can put this in practice. Also, super important, this summary. We can see here in my slides a super nice example about how this summary should be. Basically, the summary is the part where you're gonna share your story. You want to use this, okay? How you can write this, there are many, many, many examples. In this case, the person that is using that created this profile, they have their mission. They're telling their story about using the mission, vision, or what is my magic, what I'm good at. One very interesting, important thing for you to do here is you need to write this in the first person. I am a data analyst with more than 2 years of experience. So this is going to be in the first person. You want to explain what you do and why it matters. I help people find the right information through the right tools. And then you explain what you do, why this is important, and the contribution you want to make. Right? This is an opportunity for you to showcase your story, your skills, your talent, your interests. So when I go to your profile, I can quickly see if I'm a recruiter, I understand, okay, you're a data analyst, you're interested in solving these kind of problems. Remember, recruiters, companies are looking for people who can solve problems. So what is the problem you solve? Include a call to action. For instance, I'm happy to connect. Please send me a message if you want to learn more about what I do, or I'm always happy to answer any questions you may have, so reach out. Include a call to action. This is very important. Quick edit. If you do not have a summary, then create one. If you have already one, then make sure you're covering all these things. So basically, LinkedIn, you are going to showcase your story. Your story, of course, it includes also your experience and your education. In our webinar on Tuesday, we learned how to improve our resume, and using what we learned in that webinar, you are now more prepared to create your experience and education section in LinkedIn. Usually, if you have your CV updated, then you can replicate what you have there. LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to also include videos, a link to your, if you did a research or you have a portfolio, then you should include it there. This is a great opportunity for you to do so. One essential thing in both our CVs and LinkedIn is our skills. Remember, companies want people who can do things. What we can do, these are our skills. We have, our technical skills. If you are into data analysis, IT, cybersecurity, then these are hard skills, right? This is very specific into a field of knowledge of an industry area, and you want to showcase your hard skills, and you also want to showcase your very soft skills. And therefore, you want to include this in your LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a special section for you to include all these skills. And you can actually ask someone to endorse your skills. What does it mean? You're doing a virtual internship at the moment. Your supervisor is working with you, you're working with someone else, a colleague maybe, so you can ask them, hey, can you take 5 minutes to go to my LinkedIn profile and endorse some of my skills? So first you need to list your skills, and then your colleague, someone who knows you, will endorse his skills. A good practice is to tell them, I'm happy to also endorse yours, so you can exchange endorsements in a way. So this is a great way to have your LinkedIn well updated. Also, recommendations. You know, one of the things I love about LinkedIn is the fact that you can have your recommendations there. This means your recommendation is there for anyone to see, which means it's for life. And you can request professional recommendations from your peers, from your supervisor, and for actually anyone you worked with, or even you've done a project at university, a professor from university, you worked with this professor, or you attended their classes, and this person can vouch for you and say, yes, Peter was an excellent student. He participated in my class very vividly. I'm happy to have been able to work with him, taught him. So it is good to have recommendations. One good thing to do is, before you end your internship experience, reach out to your supervisor, even colleagues, and ask them to write a professional recommendation on your LinkedIn. This is a way to show reliability, right? People say, okay, this person has people who can recommend them. So this is a great tool. You should definitely take advantage and request for recommendations. And so basically, why should you have a LinkedIn profile? I already gave you 1,000 of reasons, but basically the key information, the key reason you want to have in mind is because it will help you connect with people all over the world. I'm in Argentina, you are in the UK, in Texas, you're in different parts of the world, and we can all be found on LinkedIn. So take advantage of that. You can also share your story, who you are, what you're interested in, what your passions are, what kind of problems you solve, where you are in your professional stage. You're creating your career. You can showcase your story. People can get to know you. You can get to establish a professional image or brand, and you can even apply for jobs. Actually, I found this job thanks to LinkedIn, so I can definitely 100% vouch for the amazing opportunities LinkedIn has to offer. I could have not found this job if it wasn't for LinkedIn. What are the essential sections you need to complete? As soon as we finish this webinar, I really hope you go, and I will send the slide next week, and you do a check and say, okay, is my profile, my background picture okay? Is my header okay? My about section, my summary, can it be better? Ask ChatGPT. Now we have this amazing tool. You can say, hey, Chat, I want you to act as this role. I'm writing my professional summary in LinkedIn. This is my experience. Can you write this in a very powerful way? Use ChatGPT to help you write this summary. The work experience and education. Remember, you can always follow the CV resume structure, and definitely, please change your link, right? So your LinkedIn address should be clean. How you do that is very simple. You can just Google how to create a nice URL for LinkedIn, and you will have all the instructions. They're also there in the slides I will share, but if you cannot wait until next week, then you can do it now by Googling a little bit. So once your profile is updated, what should you do? Well, make sure to connect with colleagues. Now we're going to go into the section of connecting, of networking. So that's the next step. Put your LinkedIn in nicely, improve it, and then connect to people. One way to connect to people, as we said, is also endorsing other people's skills and also asking for recommendation. So Damien is sharing something super interesting in our chat, and he is saying, think of your LinkedIn profile as your virtual professional office. I love this analogy, right? People will visit your profile to get to know you, your academic background, work experience, a skill set, connections. Think it as your office, right? People go there, they have different sections, and they want to connect with you, to meet with you. So, okay, after this webinar, you go, And thank you, Elena, for asking. Is it okay to ask our teammates from the bootcamp to leave a review on my LinkedIn page? Absolutely. These are people with whom you've done projects with, right? So they know what you can do, right? It is also important to always find people that can really share what offer we have to bring, right? But what value we have to offer. So this is a person you did your bootcamp with, you worked together, and you have developed certain tasks, worked on the experience, and they can share how you are at work, what qualities you have, what skills you have. And you also want to, exactly, if you shared some experience and you worked on projects, then they will be able to share this. And also, list your skills on your LinkedIn profile so you can endorse each other. So when we think about networking, what is it networking exactly, right? Because there are many definitions. Let's frame it a little bit to understand what we're talking about when we're talking about networking, why it is important, and what kind of networkings are there, if we can think of this in a way. So basically, when we think about networking, we're thinking about creating connections with people and creating a mutually beneficial relationship. Many people think of networking, as these movies where people are wearing a suit and they go very aggressively to share their personal card. Well, I don't know how old you are because I cannot see you, but I could assume I'm a little bit older than you. But in my even older time, my dad, my mom, everything was business cards. Today, business cards are also a thing, but we also have different options like sharing the QR of our LinkedIn profile, right? Or even sharing virtual business cards. This is a way of thinking of networking, right? Going into an event, a cocktail, and sharing business cards. But that's just like one way in which we can do networking. Networking is about creating a relationship, a connection that is mutually beneficial, that opens up different possibilities to connect with people. And why is it important? Because, well, it allows us to meet other professionals, to get insights into a new role or industry, to give or receive career advice, find new jobs. It's a world that is opening up for us. And also what I like to think is like, when you go to a party, what impressions do you leave with after the party? Well, probably you feel, okay, I liked speaking with this person. It was nice. It was interesting. Well, that should be networking, basically, like feeling you get to connect with other people, adding some value. And it doesn't necessarily come in one way, as in this business card exchange or a formal event. Networking can be possible in all areas and levels of our life. So let's explore a little bit why we should network and how we can do this. Well, first of all, we're going to focus on online networking. We are living in a very interconnected world thanks to internet and all the possibilities we have out there. I was born in analogical world. I didn't have all these options when I was at university. So I celebrate the fact that we can now have all these options just by sitting in front of our computer or just with our cell phone, and I have all the world here for me to discover. I want to take advantage of this because it is convenience, because it's low cost, it's less intimidating. If you are like me, I may feel like I speak a lot and I'm an extrovert. Actually, I don't feel super comfortable reaching out to people I don't know. And LinkedIn makes it so much easier for me, right? Because the only thing it takes is a message. So this is less intimidating. You can expand the range of options you have. And this is very inclusive, right? Everyone can participate with just one cell phone. And how can we online network? So what you want to do, some things you really want to have the gymnastic, right? The practice of doing. It's like, okay, we need to be proactive. Oftentimes, if we don't move, if we don't create things, if we don't put the energy so things happen, it is not magic, right? So we need to look for online networking platforms. We have many, many, many options. You can Google them. We're going to share some, but you need to be in the lookout of online networking platforms. There are many and plenty, so you can take advantage of. You need to think really in an open way. You need to diversify your network. What does this mean? Well, you may be focusing on the tech world and you say, okay, I'm interested in connecting with people within my field. You can also expand to other areas and fields because you never know when your next possibility may come from. Sometimes we close to saying, oh, I'm going to connect only with people who are in my field. And we forget that colleagues from university, friends of friends may also know someone or some company or even some web page, or they may share content on LinkedIn, which may be useful for me. Connections are not necessarily linear, it's not like one-to-one. I may find someone who prompts me into my next person, and then this other person posts something on LinkedIn. I see, I like, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And that's how a connection or a valuable piece of information comes my way. So I need to diversify. We need to take advantage of all the tools that are out there. There are many. Keep the conversations going. Yes, we have a mic. Someone wants to say something? Okay. And then we can find different forums to explore. And one excellent, important piece of recommendation, start sooner rather than later, which means start now. Okay. If you don't have your LinkedIn profile, go and create it. And if you have already one, then start using it. So what kind of events can we find in internet and the whole virtual space? Well, we can find meet and greets. Well, usually these are in person, right? Where you go and meet a personality, a professional. We can have interactive workshops in person, online, both works. What I do, and this has been a game changer for me, is like whenever I see a webinar or even a seminar in person and I cannot attend, I look for the list of speakers and I add them on LinkedIn. If you can add people on LinkedIn or you can follow them, I at least follow them, because usually these people are key representatives of the area I'm into: education, coaching, remote work. So by adding them to my network or following them, I'm going to get content I'm going to have access to the content they share, whether that is, a news. If there are content creators, then I'm going to be into the field they are sharing information about, and that's super interesting for me. So we may find club meetings. We may look for trends reporting in the area you're interested in, IT, technology. We may go to roundtables, and we may go to live Q&As. So basically, when you are going to an online network event, what you want to have in mind is really set some goals for yourself, which may be, okay, I want to connect with 3 different people in my industry, or I want to connect and exchange with other people who are not in my industry. When we go to these networking events where you usually have all the setup prepared for networking, you're going to use your camera. So probably you want to look your best. You want to be in a place where people can hear you. And you need to do some research to make sure you're taking advantage of this networking opportunity. And you will say, okay, how do I populate my LinkedIn profile? How do I get people to actually know me? And this is some of the things, some ideas we're sharing with you. You are happy to explore more, to propose more, or share if you're not covering them. Basically, your university has lots of events going on. Make sure you join your alumni, your university alumni group, the professional development group, people from your university, colleagues, professors, people who are at the recruiting department, admissions department, connect with them. You can also sign up for emails of your companies you like, cultural events. You can also follow companies you're interested in to find when they're looking for people to join their company. You can also join different the webpage, sorry, the profiles of the companies of your extended circle. This can be your club, this can be your religious activities, this can be people you know from other places. You want to make sure to really maximize all the possibilities by exploring everything that's out there. And so really, besides LinkedIn, you can find specific platforms that are going to allow you to connect with people. And we're sharing here some of them. I'm not going to go into detail because you're going to receive these slides, and there you will have the opportunity to really explore some of them. But two apps, websites that I want to recommend, which are a little bit transversal, that are not directly networking platforms. The rest are mainly networking platforms where basically you are there as a professional. These two I want to recommend are a little bit different. Creative Mornings and Meetup. Does anyone use them? Probably Meetup. You've heard of them. Meetup is an online community. You have the app and also the website where people gather to do different activities. This is online and in person, and most of the activities are for free. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I'm in Buenos Aires, Argentina. If I travel to Berlin, if I go to Texas, chances are probably I will always find a meetup activity. And these are people who gather together to share about anything. You can also create your event yourself. And there you will find people who meet. For instance, I've met amazing people in the world of agility, agile, project management, Scrum. They love the Argentine community, agile community. They love to meet through meetups. So this is a great opportunity to meet like-minded people who share your interests. And in this way, when you go to the online events or in-person events, you get to discuss with them. Hey, I want to learn more about this world. I want to get connected to other people. What platforms do you use? What people you follow on LinkedIn? Do that exercise. You will be amazed at how many people you can start connecting with. Creative Mornings is a platform, a webpage where also similar concept, but this is more of learning, targeted to learning. And usually these are just one-time meetings where people, someone offers to reflect on a topic, and you can join for free. And at this event, you are going to meet also people who like the same things. So affinity groups are essential. Damian shared in the chat different how to use groups, LinkedIn groups. Be mindful. So then we have Chapter, Rise. We have different groups, but as I mentioned, I'm gonna share the slides so you can check one by one and discover which one is best for you. And so when we go specifically to networking on LinkedIn, what is the best piece of advice I can share with you. Super, very important, and I will never be tired of stressing this. As we know, we have two things we can do on LinkedIn. We can add someone to our network, in which case we're going to connect with this person, or we can just follow them, and every content publication they do, then we can see it. When we want to connect with someone, please always send a message, a connection message. Two things you want to be reliable, and so people actually add you to their network is, as I mentioned, having a profile picture. Many people won't add you if you don't have a profile picture. And second, many people won't add you if you don't send a connection message, because it's like, I don't really know you. Why are you sending me a connection? Some people may say, no. And so that to minimize this, situation where people are a little bit reluctant to add you, you should definitely send a connection message. A connection message can be something like what we have here as an example. Hi, Maria. My name is Mirta. I'm a student that work at virtual internships, and I thought we haven't had the chance to meet in person yet. I follow your work on this company you like. I really admire your expertise and knowledge about X topic, and therefore it is a pleasure for me to connect and have you on my LinkedIn network. Basically, what you're saying is, I know we haven't connected yet, probably we don't know each other, but I really like what you do, or I see you work at this company, we have someone in common, and I love to add you to my professional network. Short and simple. This way, the other person knows who you are. They know your intentions, which is basically just to connect, and you have more chances to be accepted. Also, if you want to maximize the chances of you being accepted by other people, complete your profile. I personally do not accept people who do not have the profile picture and who have two connections and no summary. I'm like, I don't know if this profile is for real. So you want to make sure people trust your profile. Like we mentioned before, you want to endorse other people's skills. So, those who enter your profile see this, and this is the way to connect, because remember, our focus is how I connect with more people. If I endorse someone else's skills, this is a very nice gesture. If you go to my profile and you endorse my abilities as public speaker, then I'm going to be very grateful. So chances are you have more chances of me accepting your invitation if you want to connect with me, and I'm happy to connect with everyone. Send me a connection message and I will add you to my professional network. Also, follow people, influencers in your field. Are you into IT? Are you into data analysis? Are you into programming? Find these top voices. On LinkedIn, we have what is called top voices, which are people in their field who are recognized for sharing content. Identify what the top voices in your field are and follow them, because they're going to be on top of the industry. They're going to be sharing content, and you want to be updated with what's going on in your industry. So follow these people and influencers on your field. As we mentioned, join LinkedIn groups, join LinkedIn events. There are many events all the time, and give recommendations to people, just like we mentioned. And I'm not sure if you've heard this concept. If you haven't, then probably the important thing here is what it is about. Informational interviews. Informational interviews, as the name says, is an interview you have to find some information. Why is this important? Because if you're in your job search stage, right? Or even you have a job, but you want to learn more about another industry or another company, you are not directly reaching out to this person to ask for a job. You will reach out to this person to find some information. And for instance, I've had people who have reached out to me. I'm also a coach and a mentor. And I've had, for instance, some other mentors or coaches reach out to me saying, hey, Mirta, I've seen you're a career mentor. I love to understand more about what this role is because I want to explore career mentoring myself. Could you have 15 minutes to connect? So what we do in this case, the person is not asking me for a job because I don't have any job to offer, but they want to know more about my role, what I do. This may be the case for you. You have someone in your network of a friend who works at the company you'd like to work or who does the kind of work you want to do. And then you can say, hey, how are you? I've seen we have this person in contact in common. If this is the case, ask your friend to connect with this person and say, I'd love to know more about what you do, your challenges, just because I love to explore this industry in the future. So informational interviews are a great tool. The more contacts you have in your network, the more chances to find people who will be able to share some information. People are usually very open to sharing 15 minutes. It has to be brief. So explore this option. So basically, when we think about networking, what does it entail? Networking. It basically is connecting with people, right? So for you to be a great networker, you need to stay in touch and follow with your network, follow all the tips we've just mentioned. Once in a while, send a personalized message. If you see someone is on their work anniversary, then send a message. Make it personalized. Don't just use the general template that LinkedIn offers. If the person is sharing a comment on their profile, then engage with this. If they share, for instance, an article, you should definitely, if you want, you can read it and say, oh, this information you share or this perspective you have on this topic is really interesting. I hadn't thought about it. So this is a way people will see you're engaged in the conversation. How should we have the habit of networking? As everything, we need to take some time to really be in the mood and get, it's like exercise, right? The more we do, the easier it would get. So you should probably dedicate 1 hour every week to really get into your LinkedIn profile, say, okay, who are the people I can be following? Let me explore what other people share this week. How can I connect? Ask for recommendations. Take at least 1 hour to do so. If you have any questions, I know Damien has been answering questions on the chat. If you have any questions, this is the moment for you to share them so we can tackle them. So at least one moment during your month, you should be trying to get out there and try to participate in some kind of in-presence event, right? Connect with your university, follow these LinkedIn conversations and see if there's anything happening in your city. And what should you do once your LinkedIn profile is ready? Well, the next step is to have your elevator pitch ready. The elevator pitch is this very short presentation of ourselves. This can also be our summary, the summary we have on our LinkedIn profile. And it is really important for us to have, something very easily prepared where we can, in a few seconds, convey what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and why this may be of value for the person we're speaking with. And reach out to your alumni groups or university connections. And one thing I suggest that you do after we finish this webinar is to really start thinking, are there any people I already know who I do not have on my network and also have LinkedIn? Maybe you want to connect with them. So I have a very interesting question here. Can we say on LinkedIn, the more the merrier, or it is better to look for quality, not quantity? Well, this is a very interesting debate. There are people, not everyone agrees on this. Personally, I think you should have at least a criteria to accept people to your network. As I mentioned, I don't accept people whose profile is not completed, who do not have a picture, who do not send me a message. Why? Because if I do have lots of people who, with this profile, chances are they're not really engaged in the community, right? If you see a profile that is with like this, you probably say, I'm not sure this person is really using LinkedIn. So probably you don't want to have lots of people that basically do not do anything on this LinkedIn world, that you don't even know if they're actually doing anything. So that's like a small criteria for me. Then you need to really assess, like, what stage of my career am I? You know, is it already, am I professional, established professional, where I know what my field is, what kind of people I want to connect with? Or maybe am I open to exploring different options? Personally, I'm very quite open. My work entails meeting with different people. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm an educator, project manager. So what I do is pretty horizontal, transversal, if you want. So for me, it is good to have people from different industries, activities. If you are very focused on one industry and you really want to make it only about that, maybe it is a good thing to have people in your network that are more or less close to what you're doing, that is not too far away. I don't know if you're into engineering and then you have someone who bakes, you say, well, why should I have this person? Personally, as I mentioned, I like connecting to everyone because I think I never know when my next opportunity may come up from. But I understand that some people prefer to keep it on the same industry area also, so that LinkedIn is in a way, you know, reinforcing the algorithm that says this person follows this kind of profiles. I could say that at this stage of your, it depends where you are. If you want to expand, then probably it's a good thing to include other people, as long as you know these people are active and there's actually someone behind the LinkedIn profile. Does that answer your question? So do we have any other question? I've seen that Damien was answering throughout the Q&A and also the chat. So we pretty much cover all the questions. I do have one question for you. And one thing I love to know is, what is your biggest takeaway from this webinar? And if you can share one action you will take after this webinar, what is going to be that one thing that at least you want to improve on your LinkedIn profile? What is it going to be? Or something that you say, I think that now I'm more aware about this thing. What is that? Who can share it with me? Yes. Updating your profile so you can start doing serious networking. Definitely. Definitely. Okay, I'm here in the Q&A. I see someone that says, I will improve my LinkedIn URL. Yes, please do so. Please do so. I will be very, very happy if you send me a connection request with this URL, clean URL. Damien is sending my LinkedIn profile. Add me. You can use this opportunity to practice. Send me a small message, say, hey, Mirta, I was on the webinar on networking, and this is me practicing what you shared on our webinar. I'd like to connect with you. Send me make my day, send me this beautiful message. And if you have a profile picture and a clean URL, I'm going to be so happy. So make me happy for the day. That will be amazing. What else, guys? What else are you taking from this webinar that you will implement? Very important for your internship, to connect with the people from your host company. Yes, I see in the Q&A, thank you, someone is answering. I will connect to my supervisor and my colleagues. Absolutely. If you haven't done so, send a connection request to your colleague, to your supervisor, and also ask them to complete a recommendation for you. Okay? Maximize your opportunity to connect and to take the most you can out of this internship experience. And I will, guys, send you the information later next week. And next week, remember, yes, Olena, thank you. You are asking to complete recommendations. Yes, you can leave, that's a good one too. You can leave spontaneous recommendations to someone else, even if they don't ask you. You can also do that, and that's amazing, you know, when you wake up and you have a nice LinkedIn recommendation from someone you work with and you haven't asked for it, then it's great too. So next week we have our webinar on job searching and how to apply to a job. That's going to be on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have a webinar, regular webinar on hybrid and remote work. And Thursday, we have another webinar on interviewing. This is just for you guys. So come, if you have lots of questions, the better. And I hope you enjoy the session. And I wish you an excellent day wherever you are in the world, and keep on enjoying your internship and doing the best out of it. I will be waiting for your LinkedIn connections. So have a wonderful day and see you next week. Bye.